So tell us about the
Let's
project.
see. Hi.
What inspired you guys to launch this?
So to give a little bit of background, our team was originally a blockchain development team to begin with. We didn't kind of come across the NFT space as the initial entry into this. We've been working kind of very quietly on a decentralized finance project that will be public fairly soon. So we're working on this project that is going to be a pretty big deal. It's the first of its kind, extremely unique value proposition that fills a lot of the problems that we kind of have now in a few different spaces. I can't say too much on that yet, but while we're in this space, one of the things that we did come across is multiple use cases for NFTs within this platform. And as we were coming across this and starting to research some of the technology in that space, the gen art section of NFTs started to blow up. And that's when you see all of those projects like the Bored Ape Yacht Club, Divine Anarchy, things like that, that have really kind of made waves and made NFTs sort of a household term nowadays, right? And we thought we'd take a crack at it and meld it with our main project that we'll be sort of feeding a lot of these members into for additional benefits that we'll kind of get into later. And that was the premise. We wanted to come up with something that was fun, build a community that people could really be a part of, and just take a crack at a new section of a very new space. So the premise of the characters, which are very fun and unique, we think, is a play on the term cuties with a Z at the end. But the fun part of it is that there's a story behind it, and it plays with this dichotomy of cuteness visually, but sort of a sinister plot. And the plot is something that we're unveiling slowly, both on our Discord and on our Twitter currently. And with the plot, we're going to make it so that people are able to vote on the story and kind of direct where this lore starts to take root and the things that will occur in this story. And as he starts to make these decisions, it will change where the project will kind of end up in the very near future, with a lot of very key voting mechanisms that will occur after the minting date. So that's one of the first things that we're kind of implementing for our members. That's fairly fun and fairly interesting. With the project itself, the pre-sale and public sale dates are both very soon. We have a pre-sale going on Friday at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and Sunday, 48 hours after that. The project will have 7,000 unique Cultiez minted with a minting price of 0.07 ETH currently. We're kind of working around and paying a lot of attention to how gas prices are fluctuating currently to see what's going on with that, and if we can try to help our communities get set up in a way that the gas price isn't so horrible. Recently, we've noticed a big drop compared to, if you guys have seen in the last month or 2 months ago, especially when gas prices were reaching really the highest I've ever seen, more than the entire group of NFTs you'd be minting. So that's another thing that we're paying close attention to. But I think the artwork is very fun. The story is very fun. The community engagement is very fun. We have a lot of people on Discord, currently 20,000 members. A lot of them who have been feeding in recently with the new listing on Rarity Tools. And the website is pretty much something is something that we'd love to show you guys right now. I'm going to go ahead and pop that open if that's okay. Is everyone able to see that?
Yes, great.
Yeah, so we have like you can see that there's a very cute character and kind of cute aesthetic, but the more sinister looking font and stuff like that. We recently got our NFT calendar listing up. Rarity Tools listing is up, or at least the announcement on Rarity Tools is up. 2 tools that we're very familiar with, spend a lot of time on, even just on our personal time. And we can see the little GIF here showing some of the different combinations. These show a couple of rare traits, but some of the really fun rare ones are not revealed yet. We'll be revealing those in the coming days, or just a few of them at least. Most of them will be a surprise during the actual minting event. And you can see that there are 9 different traits here. Each one has anywhere between 10 and nearly 30 unique attributes, making it's either tens or hundreds of millions of possible options. And the way that we have built the algorithm and the generative tool is to guarantee that there will not be any two that are alike. Everything will be one of one, and there will be no repeats. And we've tested this over and over and over again to make sure everything is correct. And so far, the tool that we've built is perfect. We have no issues. Did a run yesterday, making sure all the mechanics are good to go, and we're feeling pretty confident coming into this weekend. We got a little fun thing here where you can just kind of click through and see some of the generatable ones that have some of these traits. This one has like a holographic cloak, which is really cool. The Japanese traditional kitsune mask, which is really unique. And a little teaser for the story here. The premise is that we have a dark entity that is in a huge battle with the good entity, right? Its counter, and it basically loses this fight and falls to this very small planet on the edge of the universe, where it tricks the people on that planet to believing that it's the good one and that he will help them and take away some of their desolation and despair, and basically tricks them into becoming a cult in his honor to support him. And there's going to be in the story a lot of sort of moral struggle, the I guess complications of survival and making choices for these characters that are kind of none the wiser. And a lot of the plot points that will occur in the next 3 days even will be community driven. We're going to put up a vote on the Discord. People will decide, and we release these like fun derivative artworks that show some of the story unfolding. And the story is going to continue to develop past the minting date. But after the minting date, it will only be owners that will be able to contribute to the voting mechanism for that, as well as a number of other things that we'll be revealing very soon too. The other benefits that we have here, some things are like a voting mechanism for charity donations. Right now, we're planning on donating 10% of the proceeds to multiple charitable organizations. And the way that we're structuring that is on the Discord. The announcement will be going up today. We're going to share a few of the different nonprofits and charities that we think are really great, kind of fall in line with some of the things that we love, like tech and art, especially being able to teach some of those things and helping communities with those things that are sort of less able to do so on a regular basis. And the community will be able to, our community on Discord will be able to vote on the distribution of these proceeds to what right now we're thinking will be the top 3 charities that people are voting for. Another fun way to allow the community to really have some of that power and decide some of these things. Another thing is we're doing a lot of stuff with the metaverse. The Cultiez sort of existence in the metaverse is something we're referring to as the Cultiverse, where there will be a lot of lore-driven spaces that people are able to interact in, and member-exclusive events will be taking place in a number of these different spaces. One of them will be on a platform called Villa that we're testing around with right now. And the really cool thing I think that we're looking into setting up and researching currently is being able to make it so that your avatar in these worlds is a Cultiez that you have in your wallet. So you'll be able to kind of see that immersion and take part in these events while looking around and seeing people that are the characters that are in these stories, right? And you yourself will also be a representation of one that you own. So it's another unique way that the ownership of these things, it kind of grants you, one, exclusivity in some of these events, and two, that just kind of fun and immersion in some of the things that we'll be hosting very soon. The other things that we want to plan for a lot of the projects there, or for this project specifically, start to wrap into our main project, where we can't reveal too much currently, but the ownership of these Cultiez will act as a key to a very, very early beta in that platform, where there will be a fairly sizable benefit for the Cultiez owners. And like I said, we are a blockchain company first, working on a decentralized finance social project, actually. So the announcement for that is coming soon, and it's very big. We're going through a lot of finalizations currently on the first version of this project. So we'll be announcing a lot more of that soon. But for now, I think I've covered a lot of the basics of our current project with the NFTs. Like I said, everyone involved in this is in-house. from the development of everything to the planning to the artwork to web design even and web development. All of this was done by a team that's beyond the door in front of me currently. So we're super proud and really excited to share this with everyone. And the Discord's starting to really pick up too. We have a lot of people saying how much they love the art, how much they love the ideas for something like the metaverse inclusions and things like that. So we're super excited.
You have the ability to have some sort of change through time with your NFT. Yours, Ben, maybe you have to burn one or sacrifice one to create another. But with Ryan, I think you guys have actually the opportunity to have somewhat of a developing story attached to the NFT and developing functionality. So Ryan, how did you get to that idea?
One of the things that we're most fascinated with in the blockchain space definitely is the ability to distribute power amongst the community, right? Is one of the things that we love about DAOs so much. And that will play a big factor in some of the stuff we're building currently. But we knew that we wanted to wrap that into this project somehow in some way. So that's why it's found itself really into almost every single corner of the project, whether it's the story or whether it's how we choose to donate money or how we're going to develop future sections of the NFT project, future rounds of the NFT project, things like that. They'll all be extremely community driven because, right, if they're the ones that are really the stakeholders here in supporting the project, we want to make sure that that means more than just kind of having a digital image that maybe gives you a couple of perks, but really makes you an owner of the project as a whole, right? To whatever fraction it is that you own of it. So for us, that was a really huge point that we prioritized above almost all else in the whole project as an entirety.
And that begs another question. How do you manage the complexity of that? Because you really are not just managing a tokenized economy, which is challenging in itself, but you're also managing basically a DeFi type economy, and you're managing an NFT economy. So, and this is all guided through a DAO, through community functions. How do you deal with the complexity of that?
So the more complex portion of it will come in that main project, which does have a lot of the DAO functionality wrapped up into it. I'm not sure how much I can kind of get into that specific portion currently. A lot of the stuff right now is really just surface level for the early stuff in the project, very simple Discord voting mechanisms and things like that. But once we do unveil that project, it will be wrapped entirely up in a DAO format, where people will be able to use the Cultiez that they have in their wallet as basically a assignment of or distribution of voting power on that platform, where they'll be able to do quite a few things that are community driven. Jonathan, if you know anything else that you want to include in that portion, please feel free to jump in.
Right. Hey, everybody. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Great. Yes. Yes. In terms of what we can talk about now for the DeFi project. So we are using this as a mechanism to kind of get involved with our future DeFi project. And by future, I mean within the next month or so. We've been working on this thing for 2 years now. Yeah, we want to kind of have the first people who are involved in this very lucrative, very new way of interacting with the decentralized finance system to be also people who are, I guess, kind of inherent to the space, right? And the NFT space is unique, right? In that the people who are involved with it are some of the most to the heart people in the crypto world. They get involved, they enjoy it, they like it for the I guess what it stands for. And so those are the exact kinds of people we're aiming for that first cohort to join in on our DeFi platform. So we're offering it as a sort of like a beta key, so to speak, to the first launch. We're excited about it, we really are, and we think that everyone else, once they see the value across the board, that it's a nice bonus to this core NFT project as well.
So in terms of the DeFi project you're working on, you basically developed certain mechanisms where you wanted the community to participate in the management of the project, in essence. But are you going to issue a token with that particular DeFi protocol or not?
Well, we'll get a little more into that later. Once the product is live, we don't want to step on any security toes and things like that. So we're just keeping it simple and easy to understand for now. In terms of the, hey, this is a pure NFT project with generative art components that we think people like. Now, the other parts like the beta access and all that should come. That's coming for the ride. But any kind of token drops or anything like that, that's not something that we're talking about right now for sure.